Getting into shape. Skill 4. Oh, for show. Perimeter of a sector. A sector is part of a circle which is formed by two radii and the circumference between them. Now, the most famous sector of all is my main man, Pac-Man. Get around him. Now, a full circle is made up of 360 degrees. We use angles to help us to know how much of the circle the sector represents. Then we can calculate how long the arc is. To make sense of all this, if we look over in the right-hand corner of the screen, we've got an example of a sector. You can see that it's part of a circle, roughly about 1/3 of a circle. We've got three parts to the perimeter of a sector, which is the outside. We've got this straight line here, which is the radius. We've got this straight line here, which is also the radius. And then we've got the curved part here, which is the arc of the circle. All right, it's part of the outside. The perimeter of a sector, which I've shortened to be P of S, perimeter of a sector, can be found using this formula. Now, it might look complicated, but it's not too bad once you start getting the hang of it. We've got this little sign here, which is a theta sign, which stands for degrees. We need to know what the angle is inside this sector here. So we put the size of the angle on the top, and then we divide by 360. Then we multiply by 2 times pi times r, and then we add 2 times r. We'll go through an example of that to help make sense of it. There's 3 steps to these questions. Step 1, identify the degrees in the sector. Step 2, identify the radius length. And step 3, use the perimeter of a sector formula, P of S. Here's our example over in the bottom left corner. We can see that step 1, finding the angle in degrees, is 80 degrees. Step 2, we need to find the radius length. That's 3 centimetres, which I've already circled in the red. Step 3, we need to use the formula. So on the top, we insert 80 where the spot for the angle goes. That's our theta symbol. We put 80 degrees in here, which I've already circled in the blue. Then we divide by 360, multiply by 2 times pi times 3, because 3 is the length of the radius r. Then we add 2 times 3, which is 2 lots of the radius. We'll do this on the calculator on the screen to help you make sense of it. So we start off with our angle, 80 degrees, divided by the degrees in a full circle, which is always 360. We multiply by 2, then multiply by pi. My pi button's over here, but yours might be in a different spot. Then we multiply by the radius length, which is 3 in this case. Then we need to add 2 times the radius length, which is 3. And we press equals, and I get 10.188, which rounds off to 10.19 centimetres, which is down in this left corner here. This slide here helps us if we've got exact portions of a circle. So a full circle over here is 360 degrees. Okay, that's if we've got all of this white section over here, if we've got everything in there. If we have a quarter of a circle, so we've only got this white section here, that's 90 degrees, because a quarter of 360 is 90. So if you know that you've got a quarter circle, you can straight away put 90 into your formula. If you've got a semicircle, which is this section here in the white, you can straight away put 180 into your formula for finding the perimeter of a sector. If you've got 3/4 of a circle, you can straight away put 270 degrees into the perimeter of a sector formula. And on the odd chance that you've got a full circle, obviously that's not a sector anymore, and you would just be finding the circumference of a full circle, and you would go back to skill 2. Just don't forget that you've got a plus symbol in your formula. Okay, sometimes when you're using multiplication lots of times in a formula, you might forget a plus symbol and make an easy mistake. And that's it for perimeter of a sector. Splash!